Hello for everyone. Today we are going to talk about effective research and managing skills that will enable you to complete assignments and assessments more effectively. Everyone has probably heard of the term research, but what exactly is research? Research, by dictionary definition, is investigation into study materials and sources to establish new conclusions, or in other words, gaining information in order to answer a question or topic. The method of collecting information will be useful for students, teachers, and young scientists in preparation on writing abstracts, reports, essays, and other writing works, doing homework, individual assignments, diploma, and course projects. During your time studying, you'll be asked to do a lot of research for assignments. And when we talk about research in this sense, we don't mean the sort of thing you do in a lab works, which is what you called primary research. Much of the research you'll be doing involves finding articles and sources of information online and in the library, which is what we call secondary research, because we're often reading the results of somebody else's primary research. Research is important as it is the underlying aspect of all assessment tasks and assignments. So, having good research skills is a vital technique that could really benefit your study. So, you are going to use following steps to ensure that you have effective research strategy, which will make you able to complete research tasks to the best standard and develop your research skills. Number 1. Find a topic. Number 2. Ask good questions. Number 3. Find information and check your sources. Number 4. Make notes, create paper or presentation. Number 5. Cite your sources. Let's look at each of these steps in more details. 1. Find a topic. Select a topic within the parameters set by the assignment. Many times, your teacher will give you clear guidelines as to what you can and cannot write about. 2. Select a topic of personal interest to you and learn more about it. The research for and writing of a paper will be more enjoyable if you are writing about something that you find interesting. 3. Select a topic for which you can find a manageable amount of information. If you find too much information, you may need to narrow your topic. If you find too little, you may need to broaden your topic. Secondly, ask good questions. Once you have identified your topic, it may help to state it is a question. For example, if you're interested in finding out about the Japanese lifestyle, you may pose the question, is it hard to live in Japan as a foreigner? By posing your subject as a question, you can more easily identify the main concepts or keywords to be used in your research. But perhaps the biggest question, where is the information? 3. Find information and check your sources. Today, we have access to so many sources of information. The internet, books, magazines, blogs, newspapers, and specific resources like Wikipedia. That of course provides lots of information. But for scholarly research, we need to broaden the types of resources that we use. There are a number of scholarly and professional sources that can provide more accurate and detailed information for your study, like government websites, scholarly books, trade magazines, and trade newsletters. It is always important to check your sources, as getting incorrect and wrong information from inaccurate sources. It can be detrimental as you'll be learning the wrong information. It might also have your marks deducted. To avoid this, you must use reliable and trustworthy sources and be careful of information that is posted by random people, such as Wikipedia or Reddit, because anyone can post, change, and share the wrong information on these sites. 5. Make notes, create presentation or paper. Consult the resources you have chosen and note the information that will be useful in your paper. Begin by organizing the information you have collected. The next step is a raw draft, wherein you get your ideas on paper in an unfinished fashion. This step will help you organize your ideas and determine the form your final paper will take. After this, you'll revise the draft as many times as you think necessary to create final product to turn into a teacher. 5. Cite your sources. Be sure to document all the sources you consult, even if there is a chance you may not use that particular source. The author, title, publisher, URL, and other information will be needed later when creating a bibliography. Give credit where credit is due and cite your sources. Don't forget to proofread the paper you have created. Read through the text and check for any errors in spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Make sure the sources you used are cited properly. But before research, you may have questions: how to manage information for your studying. You're managing information all the time, and learning how to do effectively is an important skill both in university life and beyond. To do that, you'll need to consider how you will store, find, access, and share information. But for managing information during your research process, and not only, you can follow these requirements. First, objectives. You should be able to plan and set goals for your future project. The concept of your goals will help you to implement and organize them in the future. Second, activities. Once you have done with this, you can begin the work of actually planning out the project in detail. To do this, you will need to develop a list of all activities which will need to take place from finalizing the idea up to writing the reports. It will also help to think of the research project as a number of mini projects, perhaps defined by the research cycle. Developing the proposal, designing the research, collecting the data, and etc. Third, timing. Once you have worked out some sort of sequence, then you need to establish how long activity will take. And don't forget, always start one activity after you finish the last one. Fourth is sort. If you have a lot of different information, you can combine it all into one file to make it easier to find and use them. One of the main tasks of higher education is to form a creative personality of a specialist capable of self-development, self-education, and innovative activities. The solution to this problem is hardly possible only by transferring knowledge in a finished form from teacher to student. In this regard, it should be recognized that independent work of students, like researching and managing information, it's not just an important form of the education process, but should become its basis.